Hi, my name is Duncan. I'm 26 and I'm based out of San Antonio, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do for a living in San Antonio?
I work for Tiff Streets, actually.
I love Tiff Streets.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to freak some, and I felt bad.
Tiff Streets.
I was going to freak some, but I had yesterday off because I had to deal with some stuff. I feel so bad.
You should feel bad.
Yeah.
I love those sugar cookies.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool. What do you do?
I'm a delivery driver, and on the weekends, sometimes on the weekends, I'm a manager. So the way it works is like the manager and assistant manager open and close respectively on the weekdays, and drivers who will be on-duty managers pretty much cover on the weekends.
Very cool. You like it?
Yeah, I like it. Not so much anymore because of just cut hours. And
oh, no.
Yeah. And because of that, I'm losing my insurance in July.
Oh.
And
why are your hours cut?
Sales going down year over year. And
really?
Yeah.
Cookies. People trying to be healthier?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of maybe business decisions that, kind of forced us into this position, but I really don't know, honestly.
I didn't know Tiff Streets are down there. I thought they were Austin only, but that's interesting.
Yeah, they're in multitude of different states, but one of my manager does try the best to give me the hours that he can, and last month I was really struggling because my finances it was going down a lot because I lost my hours.
What are you at right now for hours?
Well, recently it's kind of had an uptick because recently was Mother's Day. I had almost 40 hours that week. This coming schedule, one of the other managers is like, hey, do you want to be scheduled to this other day? And I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, you'll be at 34 and a half hours. So I'm like, okay, that's good. So right now I'm kind of like grasping at straws, like trying to pick up shifts here and there. But because everyone's hours are cut, it's hard to pick up a shift, especially considering we're in a district with only 6 stores. Whereas here in Austin, it's like 18 some odd stores,
Yeah. What do you think you're going to be like averaging out 2 hours wise?
So usually I average out about a 32 to 34. The cutoff for the insurance thing is an average of 30 hours. And because, as I said, the hours are cut, they average out somehow to be 27. And I talked to my boss about that. And I was like, he was confused as well because I was like, okay, why am I losing my insurance? Because, I have mental health needs and, I just don't want to lose my insurance because it puts me in a much tighter bind. And that was pretty much the kick in the head at this point where I'm really busting my ass to find another job because it's just been a little bit discouraging because it's a lot of no's and it's eventually going to be a yes, but like every no I get, it's just like it's more and more discouraging. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sorry, it's been very hard. I'm
sure.
Yeah. But I actually checked my Indeed on the way here. I did get a call back from a possible job, which hopefully that'll pan out. I tried applying to a few bank jobs, but with no previous banking experience, you're not likely to get.
Why banking?
Well, specifically Frost Bank, they pay $20 an hour, and they have benefits day one, including 401k matching. And I'm going to preface with this: I have nothing in retirement right now. And I'm at 26 and I know
I want to get started.
Yeah, I want to get started. I don't want to be in a worse position because, I don't want to work for the rest of my life,
Sure. Yeah. You want to be able to enjoy the golden years.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your hourly right now?
So it fluctuates because monthly I typically make $200 to $2,400, but again, it's fluctuating on hourly. Hourly as a driver, I make $10 an hour. Plus I make delivery fees on tips. So I've averaged it out. I typically as a driver make about $23 an hour, but as a manager on the weekends, it's $18 an hour, but that's compared to a driver, that's guaranteed money compared to as a driver, you don't always have the luck of the draw. You don't have the best tips in the world.
Why would anyone want to be a manager? I
mean, it's not that hard on the weekends, actually.
But you get less money. Why would anyone want to have the added responsibility?
Yeah, I mean, it's not much responsibility compared to what my actual bosses do.
Sure.
Because they, handle scheduling.
So it averages out to $2,150 a month?
About so, yeah.
Okay. Well.
But for me, it's because it's guaranteed money. I mean, because on a good day, a full shift would be $130 on a good day. But typically when I'm closing at my location, it's a bit it can be hit or miss. On Mondays, especially, it's terrible. You're not going to get much tips, and you're just spending $10 an hour in the store doing basically nothing.
Yeah. We'll take a look at the income situation. We'll have conversations around that. But let's dive into your overall finances. I want to know what you'd give yourself 0 out of 10, your own score.
To be perfectly honest, like a 3.
3?
Like, I'm going to be quite frank. Like, I don't know if it's just, me being terrible with handling finances or anything, or just the amount of like bills I had to pay or necessities, but I'm gonna say it's a 3. I mean,
well, 3 wouldn't be like the worst we've seen. A lot of the people who come on here are kind of in like the worst of the worst situations, so that they come on for help and then to demonstrate to others out there in the audience. Yeah. So we tend to get lots of 0s and 1s. So 3, I mean, that could be a little bit of a step up. Let's see. But you should also subscribe. I cannot think of a segue, but you should subscribe because we're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers. We're so close. Oh yeah. Thank you to everyone who has. Love you all. All right.
So much. Like I saw you on TikTok before I deleted it, and then you just popped up my YouTube shorts, and I'm like, man, you went from like 200,000 to 500, almost 500 now.
Because you guys are the best. You guys are the best. I'm so beyond blessed. I feel like I've done absolutely nothing, but I don't know. You guys are so cool. So let's jump in to this overall financial situation. So I want to take a brief moment to thank today's sponsor, SoFi. To be completely transparent, this sponsorship spot was recorded after we filmed today's episode, but it's a perfect fit for what's going on, either of you've gotten there in the episode or not so far. These kind of student loans are just terrible. The interest rates are insane. They're so predatory. And of course, we want to pay them off as quick as possible. But guess what? It makes mathematical sense, which is always what's right in the end, to refinance them if that is an option. So that's why I'm happy to work with today's sponsor, SoFi. With SoFi as a resource, refinancing your student loans can be a step forward in making your financial goals a reality. Imagine being able to focus on your forward-looking goals like buying a home or starting a family instead of being weighed down by this horrible debt. With a lower interest rate, we could be saving thousands of dollars. SoFi is a mobile-first personal finance company that is helping their members bank, borrow, and invest all in one app. Their mission is to help their members achieve financial independence and realize their ambitions. The process is fast, easy, and available 7 days a week with live customer support. Plus, student loans are eligible for unemployment protection, providing the student loans are in good standing. So it's always worth checking if the rate is competitive and can help save you money. So take the next steps, see if the rates are competitive for you in just 60 seconds by going to sofi.com/Caleb. You can also use the link in the description below. A lot of different screenshots, a lot of different documents. So let me just try to find a checking account. Who do you bank with for checking?
USA.
Okay. That's a USAA credit card. So
that was the charge off from a long time ago. That was the only statement I could find. Because
spoiler alert, I saw the word Sally Mae.
No. Yeah, you have no idea.
That absolute.
Yeah, it's rough.
Okay. USAA checking. I had Sally Mae loans, by the way.
Yeah. It's terrible. Like, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, like the interest rates are terrible. Like they're terrible. Especially now with the Fed like jacking up interest rates again.
Yeah, they're variable. Yeah. Okay. So we started with $225. 2,133 came in, which by the way is $1,000 more than you say you bring in on average. $3,000 went out, ending with $281. So why did more come in than average?
Typically, that statement specifically, because I was doing Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash on the side, I made about that month, I think it was, that month specifically for that statement, I made only like $1,900. Well, specifically in that statement, but in that statement, I made maybe about $300-400 and like on Grubhub, Uber Eats doing that on the side. And then that
props to you for hustling.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It kind of works because I live like near a pretty big like restaurant center. So, but it kind of fell off for me because I got deactivated from Grubhub for some reason. They said it was like some section, like oblique section 4 thing where apparently like nobody knows what it is because I looked through the terms and service and everything, and section 4 doesn't exist. And I actually looked up on Google like what this section 4 is, and apparently people in other markets are getting deactivated for not high acceptance rates. So
I'll tell you what's against my terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You do Uber Eats to make money.
Yeah.
You don't spend $25 on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Especially if I have the sympathy when it comes to this overall income situation and the debts, and we want to get out of Sally Mae for sure. If we're doing that and we're trying to drive Uber Eats to make money, why are we spending $25 on Uber Eats? Where's the logic behind that? It doesn't really make sense.
Honestly,
squeaky voice. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. It's, to be quite frank, it's a lapse of judgment. Like I'll get stressed. I don't cook myself enough. I will literally just make the worst decisions. And then after I make the worst decisions, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have friggin' did that. And, you know, that's how it is for me.
It's super easy to order food, but there's still enough barriers between there to like, you have to click and then click and then click and select payment and then click and then click and click and then get your food. There's a lot of opportunities to stop. So it's not just a quick food ordered.
Yeah.
So like, as we're going through that process, why are we still going through it?
I honestly don't know. I mean, over the past few weeks, I haven't done that at all. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, legitimately, like, I've been trying, like, I mean, I know, like, compared to, or based on what I have in my statements, like, I've been trying to lose weight now because I want to actually focus on doing better, you know, and exercising but I realized, hey, that's not going to help me at all because Uber Eats and DoorDash is stupid expensive. Like, and like I've been doing like my best, like trying to go to the grocery store, you know, get food for me as simple as I can. Like,
well, speaking of that, Taquito Man, we're stopping at gas stations every like few seconds and getting like 188 purchases and 280 purchases.
That would be my very bad going to Valero and soda habit. I would tell you that. So you said 188, right?
Yeah.
That's Valero. That would be...
What you're buying pop?
Yeah.
Why don't you just go to the grocery store and get like, for a few dollars more, like what is it, like a 16 pack of cans? Yeah. That's what I do. I got my Diet Coke. Yeah. I got my Verner's. I got my something else, which I'm blanking on. But I like my pop.
Yeah. I used to do that. Like I used to make coffee for myself, and again, it's just...
Used to?
Yeah.
What happened?
Again, old habits die hard for me.
Well, I mean, again, there's a lot of friction in between getting in your car, driving to a store, grabbing a drink that you choose, and then checking out, and then driving back home.
Well, typically,
so like, what is driving you to do that? We need to get into some kind of mindset.
Yeah, typically for me, I mean, I'm doing it at work. Like I'll be driving around and just like I'm losing my focus. And well, honestly, I wouldn't say losing focus is a good excuse because like quite frankly, it's just
I'm okay with getting a pop here and there, but I mean, that was twice in one day.
Yeah.
Not 3 times in one day. Then also getting donuts that day. So this was not a healthy day. We're also getting Chick-fil-A that day and Burger Boy that day and Chick-fil-A. So maybe it's all just settling on that day. It's
kind of the way USA is. It's kind of weird because it'll put pending based on certain vendors for like a long time. It won't be the exact same day.
Well, these weren't pending, but these were settled. But either way, you do that a lot. Circle K, 7-Eleven, P. Terry's, Little Caesars.
No.
You're zelling money out. So wait, no, USA transfer to yourself. Okay, transfer. So we have some transfers in Whataburger. Yeah, these are definitely not healthy choices in terms of just spending money, but certainly not healthy. In fact, is there anything in here so far that's not bullshit? I don't see one single purchase so far that's not just like bullshit spending.
Yeah.
Walgreens, maybe that's not bullshit, but honestly, with the price tag and what your history already is, I'm kind of assuming that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Zelling out $390. So what's that for?
That's so who's the name on there? I mean, well, no, obviously I know who's the name on there. It's it's for the share checking. My girlfriend and I share. So
shared checking. Why is there a shared checking for?
Because we pay bills, like we live together, so we pay bills like, you know, energy, internet.
Why don't we just transfer to each other though portions of bills instead of having a shared checking account?
I mean, it's pretty much our mindset is to make sure, hey, we don't have so much money in our account, so that way if we put it into a shared account, we know actually how much money we have left compared to, you know, transferring it to one person or the other.
Okay, so that may have been the only bill so far we paid, because then we immediately go back to Circle K, freaking 7-Eleven and donuts again, and donuts and Sizzle and Whataburger.
Sizzle is a paying for.
PetSmart, okay, well that's something.
Yeah.
That's something. So that could actually...
That's the only constructive purchase I made. And I know...
So far, in Grubhub and Circle K, that one could have actually been gas, $37, unless you just went crazy. Oh!
37 in or out?
Out? None of this is in that I've mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
But there is some in.
No.
From those hustles that you're doing again. And I as I said, that's good.
Yeah.
But $421 CarMax? Okay, we're going to have to definitely take a look at that, because that immediately scares me.
Yeah.
And Tips Treats... Remember, they give you money. You know, you don't give them money. It's only $1, but it's popped up a few times here. Every single thing you should be getting, since we already saw a car loan. That was an expensive car loan for you, by the way. Yeah. Very expensive. Since we already, like 25% of your income before.
Yeah.
Okay. And we already know there's Sally Mae. Everything should be going towards that stuff. No. Shouldn't be going towards that crap. And just going through, finally in HEB, and it's for $1.37, so we're getting a pop again. Yeah. And HEB, I got excited. I was like, we're grocery shopping, we're going to cook. And we got pop. Yeah. Sezzle, love that place. Yeah. And there's this, again, it's this bullshit. This statement goes on forever. Yep. And it's this bullshit. Circle K, PTRs. Dude, this is endless. Shell, this is crap. And this is pop. What do you do? Please be all diet beverages like that.
Oh, yeah. No, I hate regular soda.
Well, I know a lot of people have things against that in general for reasons that are valid or not. I really don't know. I haven't looked into the science. But either way, at least they're not getting calories.
Yeah.
And selling out money again. And this is just crap, dude. This is continued crap. There's another page. I'm on what page am I on? I'm on the billionth page so far. And I've mentioned maybe 25% of the things. Yeah. Sezzle, PlayStation. This is just crap. Oh, Costco. We had Costco.
Yeah.
Everyone, we had Costco. $30. Finally. HEB, $43. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then Olive Garden, $62. Yeah. And we had a date night instead of just stopping and for popping. Oh, there's another page after that. My goodness. Okay, let's just scroll to the end page. What do we have here? Oh, Sezzle. We're back. Golden Chick. Sezzle. Dude. Nectar Juice Bar. Donuts. Everything's just the same thing over and over again. This is crap. What's Sezzle? Because it's Sezzle.
It's paying for.
Sezzle. Huh?
It's a paying for service.
No. What are you paying in for, dude?
Too much.
What? Well, like, what kind of purchases are you doing for the paying for?
Yeah, I mean, again, the very bad decisions I made is going into Uber and going into, other Grubhub, like Amazon, to make, like, other than all that, it's pretty much like Amazon, Kohl's, and Uber, other services like that, yeah.
So to deliver food, which is already overly expensive, you're paying in for?
Yeah.
And there's probably like a little extra fee, so they make their money on that, right?
No, they don't.
No?
The only way they make their money, it seems like, is if you pay with your credit card and they put in like a convenience fee, which is like $1.37.
Oh, okay.
So for some reason...
Or if you don't pay.
If you don't pay, yeah. It's...
Have you ever missed a payment?
Huh?
You ever missed a payment?
No.
Thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah, but for some reason, it's just all withdrawals from a bank account. I don't know how they make their money, but, well, yeah.
Please, the swipe I'm about to do on this iPad to the savings. Please be more positive.
No,
please
it's not.
Be more positive.
It's not.
Mr. Duncan.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why are we starting with $7.13 and going up almost $2,000? That's fantastic. And we took it all out. What?
It's my paychecks get deposited into my savings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? What's even the point? It's not savings.
Well, I was going through different accounts because of some. It was just a whole thing where I just opened a new account, and because I did that, I did put it in savings, and then I just have them deposited into my checking account.
Either way, I'm still super confused because you're putting money in here and then you're transferring into your checking, but then checking comes in like $675, $5, $346, $260, $1,000 there from checking into here. Mm-hmm. I'm very confused, and then all the money immediately leaves again. What are we doing? What's the purpose of this? This isn't savings. What are we doing? What is this?
I mean, as I said, I just deposited it in there, and I tried like my best to build up savings, but I can't do it to save my life. Like, I can't. I'm trying.
Okay.
But
let me guess, you're not budgeting.
No, I'm not.
How long have you been watching?
I mean, about a couple of months, but like, and I don't want to make excuses here. Like, I don't. Like, I tried.
Well, it's good to know the reason why. You're not saying it's excusable because of the reason why.
It's not. It's
but what's the reason why? What were you gonna say?
It's just I get so much anxiety over numbers and everything. I don't want to cry.
It's okay. It's okay to cry. The overwhelming nature of financial situations and everything like that built up anxiety and these emotions, and it's beyond natural in the position you're in. So it's okay. So what's the underlying anxiety around the numbers? Could you speak to that more?
I'm just scared. I'm just scared to look at them and how much is going to affect me. And I'm trying very hard to like bring up cohesive thoughts right now. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's really okay.
It's just okay.
You're okay.
It's been a really bad situation I've been in for the past couple of years. It's just whenever I moved out of my apartment with my sister, I was living on my own, and I was doing my best to budget, and you know, those habits right there, they were the same thing back then. Like, and I tried budgeting, I tried like putting in savings, but I kept making stupid decisions. And it's just, I think it's just because like over those couple years, I got so much anxiety over it because I kept making such stupid decisions because, and again, it's not an excuse. Again, it's just I was struggling so hard with my mental health.
You're not excusing yourself. It's okay. You're giving us valid reasons. It's okay. What are your mental health struggles?
I am diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. Okay. Back then, I thought I had just depression. I was diagnosed with depression when I was 14. I went to a psychiatric hospital for a week, and recently I got medicated to handle my bipolar disorder. And there's a term for people who have bipolar disorder. It's called anagnosia, I think. It's where you don't understand how you have bipolar disorder. It's pretty common in patients with Alzheimer's, because I don't know if you've ever been, known a person with Alzheimer's. They legitimately don't understand that they have Alzheimer's. They just think, oh, I'm fine. And for the longest time, I don't know if it's true. Like, there's no scientific backing for it, but I feel like that was causing me to just make the worst decisions in my life. Like whenever I came into this job, I was like super happy. I was like making some good money every month. And then when COVID hit, it was so terrible. Like, we were making sales up the wazoo every day. Like, we were making 20, 30K sales every day. And I was working 50 to 60 hours a week, working so much overtime. And also I was working as a manager every few days because of whole like management changes and everything. And I was getting paid $15 an hour. Wow. And at the time, and it was just such a detriment on me. It's like, oh great, I'm making money. But when I make so much money, I don't know how to handle it. Like, that's where I kind of fell off, because whenever everything was stable for me, I was able to budget right. And then whenever I got more and more money, I just kept being so like careless with it. And I realize now it's just how much it's affected me over the past few years, because, you know, again, whenever I started taking medication again, it was like taking blinders off a horse. I never knew how much it affected me. Oh yeah. Like you saw how many charge-offs I have on there. It's so terrible, the position I put myself in, because COVID, whenever I mentioned that I was going to school for film. Whenever COVID hit, I was in the middle of my internship, and then they told me, hey, because of COVID and liability reasons, we can't have you going back in the office. And that was my last credit to graduate. And I gave up on it. Yeah. And that's where just everything fell apart. Like, I was barely touching my classes. I just fell apart on my grades, and I just fell apart in my money handling, because I just kept going deeper into a hole mentally and financially that I didn't realize was affecting me, because I kept getting more and more depressed. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just because I'm working too hard. I'm working too much overtime. But I mean, it was one factor, but in the back of my mind, I just keep pushing the back of my mind, and I don't realize how much it affects me. And that's why I want to be better today, because like I said, taking the blinders off the horse, I don't want to be in this position anymore. Like, I just really don't.
Here is the good part. 1, you are on medication. You're seeking help. 2, you are here because you've recognized you've had a spending and financial issue. So we are going to look through the full financial situation so we can see where we are today. We're going to lay out a plan and help support you and encourage you. Everyone's going to encourage you and get you to a place where you're in a better place so those underlying anxieties around the numbers aren't something. And this is something I haven't really talked about in general on here, but I mean, I don't have bipolar, so I can't relate to that, but I have a pretty severe panic disorder. Yeah. And it's been debilitating in my life, and I seek mental health for that. I take medication for that, and it creates lots of phobias in my life, which have been big struggles. Yeah. So I definitely get the mental health aspect of this. There's some days I can't operate, essentially, and it's terrible. So I really get it. I understand it. It doesn't make you any less of a person. What we are going to do is together create a plan where you can get to a place where the numbers are not only not anxiety-inducing, but might be exciting to look at, because you'll have made progress, and then you're going to be making progress in the right direction in terms of investing and building a portfolio. Yeah. You're already on the right track in terms of your mental health. You've received medication and help. You've reached out to me to come on the show for help regarding finances. You're well and beyond, I would say, the average person, if you need to know that. But not that that even matters. The thing is, you're on the right track. So
it means a lot to me. It really does. I really needed to hear that.
It's true.
I've needed the kick in the head for a while because, I was never really taught finances growing up, and honestly, I think that's a big, detriment to the American education system. Nobody gets taught finances ever in school.
State to district to district,
but not here in Texas. I'll tell you that. But it was. I want to just get better and just not ignore this anymore. I'm not ignoring it now, but I'm actually wanting to get better for my sake, for my girlfriend's sake, because I just want to build a future for myself, my future family, and
well, that's all that matters. I can sit here all day and say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Here's what we need to do. If someone right there does not recognize that they need to change, then nothing's going to happen. You've already recognized that. Yeah. You've said that. So I don't have to do what I typically do, where I really dig in and emphasize, hey, this is bad. Why are we doing this? Yeah. It's because a lot of people just sit there and it's not great, but it's also not the worst thing ever. You know the situation you're in. You're ready to change. So we're just going to take a look at the situation. We're going to lay it out. Okay. And then we're going to put together a plan. So let's move on to what I assume the debts, right? Because I don't think there's another checking or savings, correct? Okay. We already saw our lovely resident Sally Mae.
I'm gonna break down the interest rate for you right now. One of them is 14%. The other two are 10%. And right now I'm paying interest only because they just. I'm like, they're like, hey, guess what? You got to pay up now. I'm like, I don't have exactly the money to do that, but I guess we'll try to figure out what I can do. And so I made a full non-interest only payment last month, and then they're like, okay, well, what we can do is do interest only, which is the post-graduation program.
I had less than you and Sally Mae when I was done with college. I just did college in a very stupid way. I did not understand finances, and I wasn't. In the, the headspace, knowledge, financial position that I'm in now at that point. And I had to work my butt to pay it off, and we will get that to you. We'll get you to that point. $14,251 is where we're sitting. Yeah. Are you making the payments on this? Because I see unpaid interest and fees.
Yeah, I made that full payment. That was non-interest last month because they called me and said, hey, you didn't make a payment. I'm like, okay, apparently. Because the whole thing that I was in, I took class last semester, and whenever you're taking classes, they defer that to a certain date. And I was under the assumption that it was going to defer up until the end of May, which is this semester, even though I'm not taking classes this semester. And they called me back in March and said, hey, you got to pay up. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't really exactly have the money for that. And they said to me, okay, well, we can do interest-only payments if you make the payment right now. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I'll scrape together $240-some-odd, however much it was, to pay for it and just get me out of this.
Well, here's the thing. There are companies who help. They don't get you out of this debt situation. But what I actually would do, I only talk about what I would do, and I would have used their resource if I was in their situation, if I was still in this situation, or if I knew about them then. This, not good debt.
Absolutely
the interest rate is bad.
It's really bad.
I know Dave Ramsey hates SoFi, hates them.
Yeah.
That's his thing. I respect him. I like him a lot. But if I can get you to a more competitive rate, say down 8 to 8% from these variable rates, which are continuing to go up, your one's at like 14%. That's going to save you so much money in the long run because I don't know where this is going to sit in your debt repayment.
Yeah.
So if we bundle these all to a lower interest, you'll have to go to a website, see what works best for you, see if it's competitive.
I've thought about that before.
Can be helpful.
Yeah, I've thought about that before, but the biggest concern is like, as you saw, like my credit's bad. My credit's really, really bad. Like that's the biggest problem I've had.
Can you lean into the mic? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but my credit's just really, really bad.
Yeah.
Because like that's the biggest concern I have. It's like if I'm going to refinance it into a different student loan refinancer, I'm not even sure if they're going to be willing to let me do it.
Well, as far as I understand it, at least with them, because I have worked with them, because this product is applicable for your situation.
Yeah.
Is you can go shop their rates and see what actually works with you without having to like hard pull, if I'm not mistaken. So it's worth a look at the very least. And I'm not one to say go get in more debt, but going from 14% to a more competitive rate always makes sense. But don't think that just because you did, and this is where a lot of people fall victim, and this is why Dave Ramsey doesn't like it, don't think that just because you refinanced, we made progress and we don't have to do anything. We're still going to aggressively pay it off, just as aggressively, but it could save you hundreds of dollars, and hundreds of dollars matter in this situation.
Especially with mine.
Yeah. CarMax, so we're going right to the car.
Yeah. And what's even worse is that my insurance just went up. It's skyrocketed for
what the f is this? Total amount due $1,137. What is that?
Yeah, it's a lot of late fees over the past year. Mind you, it is not like 30 days past due on my credit, but it is, again, bad financial planning where I just lose sight of what I'm going to do. I just pay it off later, and I pay it at the end of the 29-day mark, and that's it. Just try to scrape together money.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We get you to a place where you're budgeting this, because the normal payment is $421 and 15 cents, and that's what I'm going to put down in your budget, because we're going to catch up on this. But your late charges of $294 and then having to pay 2 normal monthly payments. Yeah. Oh, it's real bad. It's so bad. At a 10.45% interest rate. Yeah, no, not great. What's your credit score? You mentioned bad credit.
God, do you want Experian or do you want Credit Karma?
Credit Karma's fine.
Okay. Because I know Credit Karma isn't always the most accurate from everything.
It's not always, but it'll give me just the idea.
551.
Products. Huh?
551.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's not good at all.
Okay. We will get it in a better place.
Yeah. I recently found a credit repair company that has like a 4.9 on Google, and I've been wanting to reach out to them to see what they can do to help.
I'd be cautious.
Why is that?
I don't know what's in them. We've had someone who had credit repairs on here, and they're like, we're getting it all down to like 5% interest, but after all their fees and charge, they bundled everything down to like a 15%.
I've seen some where it's just like, don't pay your payments, we can negotiate it. I'm like,
what that does is, either they're negotiating, or what these companies do is that they're waiting for it to fall on your collections and then negotiate the collections. And if you're trying to care about your credit score in general, that's something we're not even thinking about, because that's going to take almost a decade.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I'm going to not think about that right now, but we'll look at the end of the conversation, because there's still a lot of documents to go to. $16,584.52. That's what's left. So we have a credit card, USAA credit card.
That's closed. It's charged off. I don't have any credit cards at all.
Good, but it still has a balance, correct?
Yeah, I got charged off to a collections company.
Oh, this is already in collections.
Yes, all three of the credit cards I emailed to you about are all in collections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll capture that information in a bit then. Okay. It's a screenshot. That's the sizzle.
Yeah.
Can we just stop using that?
Yeah.
If we can't pay for something, we're not doing it, and you can't afford it now anyway because we need to get out of debt. Yeah. No more sizzle.
Yeah.
Those sizzle screenshots are crazy. We'll throw them on screen because this is a wild way to do things. Afterpay, we're doing Afterpay too. We're not doing Afterpay anymore.
I haven't done that in months, but that's
good.
Something I haven't paid at all.
What is this? 404 overdue? Do you owe money on Afterpay?
Yes, I do. I also owe money on PayPal and Klarna as well.
Okay.
Again, a series of really, really bad decisions.
I'm trying to not have a heart attack.
Yeah.
There's only $63 due.
Yeah.
And we haven't paid that.
Yeah. And again, it's the stupid anxiety of just not knowing what I'm going to have left. So
I gotcha. So it's a Ticketmaster thing.
No.
$91 total. Ticketmaster and Groupon.
No.
For which one is this? Klarna.
Yeah.
Okay. PayPal.
It's terrible. PayPal is terrible.
What are we doing? Booking.com. GameStop.
240. It's about 240 in total, I think.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okie dokie. Are there any other that's other than what's in collections?
Anything else that's not in collections?
Yeah. Anything else? What is this? 1,324. Affirm?
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. It's really, really bad.
What'd you do with this?
I just stopped paying it.
Oh, Samsung, Target.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, your credit definitely makes sense. Now, are you behind on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone up to collections.
This is in collections now.
Yeah, that's from like 2.5 years ago.
Okay. Oh, buddy. This is one of the more... Yeah. Can I see that credit report? Again, Credit Karma, can you pull that up?
Yeah.
Is there any other outside of collections?
No, that's all I'm aware of.
Derogatory marks because we were missing payments.
That's the Midland credit. I think that's the Visa I had.
So what?
Visa I had. It was an old credit card. I had 3 credit cards in total. Well, one of them was a store card. And the other 2 were the USA one you saw. And so the USA card you saw, the Visa I had, and the Kohl's card I had. Unfortunately, I was stupid and I got that whenever I worked there. And
oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were up to like a 630 there for a bit.
Yeah.
Just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
In fact, you were... yeah. Okay. Total accounts, let's see.
28, yeah. Quite a bit.
Yeah, Midland Credit Management Collections, and then we have Affirm Collections, FinWise Ope Loans.
FinWise Ope Loans. Yeah, okay, well, those are two debts I forgot to mention. What was it? It's about... It should say on there. Yeah, it's $1,400.
What is it?
It's a personal loan I took out about a year and a half ago.
Why did you take out personal loan?
Mostly because I was just freaking out about money in terms of paying rent and everything. Again, mismanagement of money, and
Did you have enough money to pay for rent?
At the time, I think I did, but like I was just that was the money after rent I needed because I literally had no more money left after that.
What's Moneyline Inc?
Moneyline? Oh, it's another personal loan.
$986. Are you paying it?
No. So the way that loan works is kind of weird. It was one of those budgeting apps, or well, not a budgeting app, but it was one of those finance apps where you pay a certain amount, you get a certain amount of the loan, and then after you pay off the loan, you get the rest of it back. Mm-hmm. And the one payment that's not on there, it's that money I owe to my grandfather.
Okay, how much was for Grandpa?
I think about $4,500.
Why do we borrow $4,500 from Grandpa?
So that was a terrible situation. So my grandfather, first car I bought died, so I needed a new car. My grandpa co-signed a loan. And then a month into the car, I got T-boned by an F-350, and it got totaled, and I did not have gap insurance. So when that happened, they were trying to look for a new house, and they wanted to pay it off so that way, they could get a better mortgage. And I agreed to pay back the rest of it, and based on what I can afford, which is very minuscule. It's like $10, and that's not even enough. And I mentioned that I wanted to pay it off early because it's family, and I want to make sure that I give them money back that from a stupid mistake that I made.
Is there a minimum monthly payment you're doing with him?
Again, $10. It's not even remotely enough.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I know, you're good.
We also have hidden student loans, federal loans. It looks like.
I have no idea what those payments are.
Well, they'll be about $225 a month. I'm guessing starting up pretty soon. So we're going to include that in your budget. $16,845. What I'm struggling with is I cannot there's this in the collections. Can't get a. I don't know what your minimum monthly payment is for. Well, let's see the private. Let's see.
So right now, the minimum monthly payment for interest only is about $124.
Well, I'm trying to figure out minimum monthly payment for some of these other things we have. That's in collections, so we don't have to worry about it. Well, the personal loans in collections, so I don't know. There are firms in collections, so I don't know. PayPal, is that Afterpay. Okay. Yeah. Let's have a little addition, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, so we have $57,303.85 of really bad debt. There's nothing beneficial to these debts. Nothing leverage on good rental properties or real estate or whatever. Again, since a lot of them don't have minimum monthly payments because they're in collections and stuff, your current minimum monthly payments is $501. So, sorry. Much less fun.
Yeah,
$880.65. Also known as 41% of your income. Is that your take home that you gave me, or is that pre-tax?
That's take home, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, it varies from, how busy it is and how busy it's not. The most I've taken home in 1 month is about $3,200, but that was a long time ago.
Is it the least you've taken?
The least I've taken? No. In my statements, I only took about $1,900 home last month.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Last month?
Yeah. And this month is better. Recently, I got paid $1,000, but hopefully this coming paycheck will be about another $1,000. But again, it's just not. It's a thing where it fluctuates, and it's not a job that can sustain me, especially if I want to tackle all of these. I just want something that's, it's a job that I need to find where I need to have consistent paychecks rather than just thinking about the luck of the draw.
Yeah. We also had a minimum $400 of interest accrued. Minimum. I think it's a little more than that. Well, it's definitely with the collections, those are just trying to be gathered for you, but some of the other personal loans and stuff that we've seen. And of course, the federal student loans, they're not getting interest right now, but they will soon. So it's going to be higher than that, probably $600 with everything combined. Fast food, $766.
No.
$766.
That could have gone toward that,
Yep. Also known as 36% of your income with the fast food, really.
No.
Subscription's not much, $7.11.
About maybe $45, $50 at most.
Yeah. So, not proper budgeting, but what we can do to get you in this better spot is create a budget, a simple budget, but aggressive budget, because aggressive is what's necessary to get you to a place where there are not these financial anxieties. I would that Sally Mae get that consolidated refinanced.
Okay.
I would. It's going to be the same amount, but minimum monthly payments might be a little less, and your interest should be less.
And hopefully with a much better company that will actually help me out.
Yeah. All right. So, crap. Okay. Debt, $880.
Mm-hmm.
Rent, what's your portion?
It used to be $865, but now it's going down to $665. We are moving into a rental house with a friend this Friday.
Good.
Thank God, because that, again, rent was killing me. I paid way too much
Well, the crazy thing is that rent's actually not crazy, but
it feels like it. Like
San Antonio, maybe
for what I'm living in, it's crap. It's crap quality.
That's like, the thing. Yeah,
I'm just ready to be out of there, and I'm very excited to be in a house at least.
Your portion of utilities, internet, and all that good stuff.
That's gonna be a hard ballpark since we're gonna be living into a house. I'm gonna guess maybe about. I'm gonna say maybe 45. So 45.
Split between how many people is this?
3. So I don't.
Seems a little low.
It's because I mean, surprisingly, CPS is actually not the worst in terms of energy bills. I don't know how Austin is.
Well, we'll say 50. That's fine.
45. So let me see. Internet would be 30. Water, I'm gonna guess 20 because I've never paid water before. Insurance will be like $10. What else? I think that's about it.
So what is it total for you?
105.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that 45 was total.
No. That's the energy bill, but it could be a lot lower considering we're splitting it against 3 people. Like I don't know how it is in terms of like the house, how it's going to be, because like usually our energy bill was about $45-50 each when we were living in the apartment. It fluctuates rapidly. I don't know why.
Okay. Phone bill for yourself?
Phone bill. It's about $85.
Okay. How much are you spending for therapy?
Right now, I'm not in therapy, but I'm paying $20 a month for my psychiatrist to get my medication.
Okay.
Including my medication, it's about $34
a month or a week.
Yeah, about $34 a month. Yeah.
Okay. Car insurance?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so it used to be $90, but it's skyrocketed to $224.
Sounds about death. And oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not fun.
No, it's not.
Oh, buddy, I'm just laughing with you at just the absurdity of these numbers. It's just, yeah.
No. We're trying to look into other insurance companies, but they're not much better.
Well, the thing is, I think if your hours continue to go down, you might have to get on the ACA.
What's that?
Or ACH. No. Affordable Health Care Act.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my one of my coworkers was talking about that because whenever I learned that I was losing my health care, I was very upset at work. And they're like, oh, yeah, I mean, Affordable Health Care Act, I pay like $15 a month. I'm like, what? Because last time I looked at Affordable Health Care Act, I mean, it was so long
I don't know
ago.
if you'll be that low, and you'll probably want a little better than she has, but probably like $100.
Well, last time I looked at it, it was like a few years ago. I remember it was like $400-500.
It depends. It really depends on your income situation. So, okay. And then gas bill. For
gas, I would guess it's around $80.
A month? You don't drive much? Okay.
No. Luckily for me, when it comes to work, I typically drive a company car. So I keep like my gas to a minimum. And if I'm ever forced to use like my own car, it's in downtown. So like everything is like a mile apart from each other. So
yeah. Let's just walk.
Yeah, let's just walk, honestly. People had to do that before.
Well, bad news. Every single dollar.
Yeah.
We didn't even do groceries. Groceries is $300. Groceries is $300.
Yeah.
You're not eating out anymore.
No, I'm not.
I mean, cut it below $300 if you can.
Oh, yeah.
And since it's you and your girlfriend, you probably cook together or cook for each other and stuff. Yeah. You might be able to do $200 for yourself, $200 for her, or however she might want. And in fact, let's actually put you at $200. Okay. That's what you contribute to the grocery fund. And then what you contribute to the toilet paper fund or whatever else is needed to keep the house in order. We're gonna do $50 for you.
Yeah, that's about right.
Because now we're $173 over what you bring in on the tight budget. So no wonder we were taking out personal loans. No wonder we're going into collections. We're not paying on these debts. No wonder, because we're just not making enough. So what are you interested in career-wise? What do you like? What did you graduate in, or what did you study? Sorry.
I studied film.
Right.
I wanted, excuse me, I'm about to work. I wanted to be an editor for like a production company. Excuse me. What's up? Or freelance. And I wanted to go back to school, but right now I can't. Not with these. But I want to do like a business degree and see where I can put my feet down on, business.
Okay, if we're talking business, you've heard me say it a million times. Just check out my boys who I work with at Course Careers in the description. Check them out. because what you can land is like a tech sales job and a few tech jobs they have that they specialize in, so that you can get certified relatively quickly and then go get a higher paying job, because we can get you in at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. There was someone on this show a couple months ago who got a certification through them in tech sales. They got a job and grinding through commission. They were starting to bring in like $60,000, $70,000 a year.
That's good.
That's a little more than you make.
I was trying to look for sales jobs at first, and a lot of them is just like, hey, guess what? It's door-to-door sales. Like the interview would be like, okay, that's cool. Let's go. It's door-to-door sales. No base salary. No only commission. I'm like, that's something I can't do. Like,
no, base is good unless you already have like vast experience and you can just get out there and grind. $25,800 is what you bring in a year, though. No. So we're going to need that to change. Yeah. So certifications of any kind, you can check out my people or you can check out anyone. I don't care. I think we look at certifications instead of college. Mm-hmm. You just drive Uber Eats like crazy and DoorDash and anything like that and not give them any more money. Yeah. And that way you cash flow a certification. Because this is unsustainable right now. What we can do is anytime that you're planning on working plus an extra 20 hours a week minimum, that is not happening driving at Tiff Streets, you are driving for Uber Eats, driving for blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Another thing that might be worth considering, I mean, I was bringing in more money working just as many hours at Jimmy John's delivery driving. Yeah. I'd just look at other driving services. You'd have to pass a certification. I'm not overly knowledgeable on this, but using the driving experience you have, maybe doing short route trucking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. My best friend's dad actually does that. He has a CDL and he just does like, CDL obviously not going to get that because it's, the anxiety would be too much for me, but you know, my friend also got a job into working for, I think, Pepsi. So he does like stocking at gas stations. But the biggest reservation I have when it comes to driving is when I first started the job during COVID, the Corolla being totaled, that was on the clock when I was at the job. I got another car after that, got totaled again on the job. And that's the biggest reservation I have. I've had this car for almost 3 years, and I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it for more. Because I'm going to keep it for as long as I can. It's a Camry. I mean, honestly, if you're willing to grind, we could get you working 40 hours a week stocking things at Walmart. Yeah. Because they're trying to still hire people. Yes, tech has fallen back. Construction has fallen back. But service-based industries are still like, please come work for us on every place you walk into. Yeah. We can get you a job. Might not be the dream job, but if we can get you a job, 2 jobs, if we can get you working 60 hours a week, because what makes the biggest priority is starting to get it caught up on our payments, making sure we can pay for things. And then let's get you into a better position that you like through a certification or just through a job. Okay. You need to find your own career path, but right now we just need to work. I can't necessarily lay out a full game plan here because your income situation is right now we're in the hole, like 170, whatever. So this is income. Yeah. You need to go make more money now, not spend any money eating out. Everything that we laid out, you really can't cut down much. The only thing you can cut down is like toilet paper spending and groceries. Yeah. It's pretty much it. But when you get money, you should definitely refinance that Sally Mae to something better, just to minimize minimum monthly debt payments and interest. Mm-hmm. We're paying off that Afterpay $63 immediately. Immediately. You drive one Uber Eats and you pay that off, and you pay off the Klarna as well, the $91. And the PayPal and the Settle, those are gone. They're killed. Then PayPal's gone after that. Then you pay off that $921 thing in collections. Then the $986 personal loan. Yeah. From there, you're going to follow the classic snowball. That definitely makes most sense for you because you just have so many accounts and most of them are relatively small except for a couple high ones. Yeah. Then you kill the affirmative 1,224, then the collections 1,498. These collections are not old enough to just allow. You want to live so much more life in the next 7 years. Like maybe you guys could even get a house towards the end of that. That's not going to happen if we're just allowing credit to fall off. Yeah. So we're not going to be doing that. Yeah. We're not going to work with negotiating companies. Then I would, okay, is your grandpa chill with, what's the relationship like with this situation?
He has Alzheimer's. So
that's right.
Yeah, he is, I'm not sure how, I mean, I'm going to just say it to you. I mean, I'm kind of wanting to keep this private right now.
So the power of attorney for the grandpa who you owe, are they chill if you have a good conversation saying, hey, I'm paying off these debts, I will get to that, but I'm going crazy?
Yeah, because like whenever we talked about it in the first place, like she said, I know you're in a really, really, really bad situation right now. And it's like, I mean, even as low as 10 months, I'm willing to let you do that. And but she said recently, it's like he's getting old. We don't know how long he has left. So, I mean, she's more lenient. I mean, if I explain it to her, I'm sure she'll be understanding. I mean, especially after that last conversation, but she's understanding my situation because she knows it's bad.
Okay, in that case, then we hold off on that $4,500. We pay off the refinanced private student loans as fast as possible. Then we pay off that car at 10% as fast as possible. Yeah. I don't know how long any of this is going to take because, again, right now we're in the hole.
Yeah.
So you just need to make more money. You just need to make much, 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 much more money. Just either by grinding 70 hours a week, never seeing anyone at home, never being at home, sleeping like 6 hours a day. Be healthy about it, and take care of mental health about it. But we're grinding every single second we can.
Yeah.
We're packing lunches. We're going crazy. Any fun we have is paid for by someone else or it's free.
Yeah.
Then after that, I would pay the grandpa off. And then depending on what the interest rates look like for the federal student loans, if they're 5% or less, minimum monthly payment until they're paid off. If they're like 6% or above, we aggressively pay them off too. And then you get a 6-month emergency fund. What I would do, because your minimum monthly payments in order to survive are $3,323, I would save that up as quick as possible. Set that aside to lower the anxieties around this whole thing. Yeah. If something were to happen, you can cover all that for a month while you go aggressively look for something else.
Okay.
So do you think bringing in extra... How much driving for these other companies do you do right now on average?
Right now, I don't do it because we're just trying to... Right now, I haven't been doing it as much because we've been just trying to pack everything and move.
Okay, knowing it in your area, if you did an extra 30 hours a week driving Uber Eats and all these other things, how much do you think you could bring in reasonably?
30 hours. And usually I average about 25, 26, so maybe about, I would say 400, 500 maybe.
500? A week? Okay.
Yeah.
500 a week. We're going to take 100 off for gas and maintenance, $150 off for gas and maintenance. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Okay. So what does that bring us?
So about, I would say 350, 400.
350, we'll call it 350, be conservative, times 52 divided by 12 gives us an extra $1,516 a month. Okay. So that brings us a little extra money. Mm-hmm. But if we do the $57,303.85 plus the $3,323 of the emergency fund you need to save, of the initial emergency fund that you need to save up. And then, because of your minimum monthly expenses being relatively expensive, plus the additional, let's call it $12,000 for a fully funded emergency fund after that, divide that $72,626 by $1,516, all your extra money, that takes 48 months to pay off, which is 4 years.
Yeah.
But in reality, even if that's the best you can do, which I think we can do better than that by getting a higher paid job, that means that you have an initial emergency fund. You pay off all the debts, which are crazy debts, and you have a fully funded emergency fund. By the time you hit 30, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
That's actually not that bad. The difficult part is you're going crazy in a good way, you know, to pay all this off and just go wild and intense and for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up every single day for 4 years. Or like reasonably it is.
Yeah.
So what we could do is we say, okay, a minimum of $1,500 is going to hit these goals.
Okay.
We have our $3,323 that's going towards these keeping us alive, these minimum expenses. You need to keep us alive. Anything above that you want to bring in, let's say you go bring in an extra couple $100 a month. If this is what keeps you to the plan, as long as we are hitting those minimum numbers that we talked about, that extra couple $100 a month that you bring in, doing a couple extra shifts on Uber Eats, you can go spend that on eating out or on a little trip if we save up them for a few months. But if that's what keeps us engaged throughout the process, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Of course, I would rather that extra money go towards paying it off, because you could take this from 4 years to 3 years or something. Yeah. That's better. But if you're more likely to fall off doing that than you would be by extending it to 4 years instead of 3, because you go out to eat like once a week or something like that, even something cheap, or have a picnic or whatever.
Yeah.
I would rather that, because I would rather you be in a higher chance of being in a better place, a perfect place almost, by 30 than just not at all.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That sounds good. On that? Honestly, that sounds pretty good. Because I do want to just get this down, because, investing in my future, especially, I don't want to go home with no retirement. As you always say, it's just like the 20s are the best time for compounding.
They are, but you'll have your second best decade.
Yeah, exactly. So I've also wanted to do, I've heard about Roth IRAs. I don't know how good those are, but I'm just in the retirement game. I'm not very knowledgeable.
We'll want you to take advantage of that. Right now, your interest rates, you're not going to beat.
Yeah.
These interest rates with being in the marketplace, averaging now 8% or averaging the S&P at 10 point whatever with dividends reinvested. So we're not really thinking about that right now. Yeah. We want you to start going crazy, maxing out 401ks, all this stuff once you get into 30s, because you'll be playing catch up a little. Yeah. But that's okay. The fact is, here's the crazy thing. If you go wild and even do that little compromise we talked about, and you're fully out of bad debts by 30, you're actually well above the average 30-year-old. And that's the sad part. Yeah. That's the sad part for the United States, because you have a fully funded emergency fund at that point. That's unspeakable for so many people who are 30. Yeah. And then you're saving up for potential 30, you're getting a mortgage at 35 while saving for retirement. And if you start maxing out Roth IRA, maxing out 401k as best you can, starting in 30s, you're going to be able to retire. Okay. You're going to. There's actually, as devastating as this conversation was. Yeah. Because it was. The hopeful side of this is actually quite pleasant. That just depends what you do for your income. Do we go get a better job? Do we just go work our butt off working 1 billion hours a week? What do we do? Yeah. That's all dependent on you and what you choose.
Yeah. And that's understandable. One of the big things, I've kind of questioned when it comes to certain people on here is why they come on here asking for help and then just be the most, hard-hitting. It's well, I'm wrong. I'm right. You're wrong or whatever. But I feel like it's the most important thing to just be okay with your situation. Understand it doesn't make you any less of a person than anything else,
I think, because I hold conversations with them after, follow up with email or text or whatever. I think a lot of people are just naturally defensive in person when seeing their situation laid out for the first time. Yeah. People do tend to come to accept it, whether or not they go as wild as I suggest. Yeah. That's up to them. But this is knowing how bad the debt is, because I've been in similar positions in the past, in my early 20s. This is the plan I would personally follow, because I know how bad it is, or else I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. I'd never recommend something I wouldn't do. No. So it's up to you. Yeah. Drive that income, pay these off. Okay. That's the plan. It was laid out on screen, and I'm rooting for you. Everyone in the comment section is rooting for you. I appreciate it. Any final thoughts?
Well, one of the biggest things is that I think the most important thing to understand is I kind of want to platform mental health at this point, because I mentioned to you that mental health was the biggest reason why I'm in this place in the first place, is that anybody else who's in my situation because of their mental health, I just understand that because you're mentally ill doesn't make you any less of a person, and that you can get out of your situation if you just seek help and get your finances together and make sure that you keep yourself surviving for the rest of your life, or just keep yourself alive. That's the most important thing.
Well said. For Duncan, he gave himself a 3 out of 10 for his score. I think it's going to be lower than that. We'll break down his score in a moment. But thank you again for coming on and spreading awareness for mental health and sharing your situation for everyone. Hopefully it's helping people out there. And give him some encouragement in the comments below. For his Hammer financial score, spending 0 out of 10, way over budget. I mean, it's not even close. Debt, 0 out of 10, can't get much worse. Retirement, there's nothing, 0 out of 10. Emergency fund, nothing, 0 out of 10. Real estate, there's nothing, 0 out of 10. So his Hammer financial score is unfortunately 0 out of 10. But he has a path. There is hope. And I really believe in him sitting here across the table, so I have path. If you want a free $5, use the link in the description below to sign up for Acorns. You put in $5, you get a free $5. I get a free $5. Everyone wins. It's awesome. And don't forget to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Thanks.